Hi, I'm Erin from Broke Millennial for the Financial Diet. Welcome to the 3-Minute Guide brought to you by Skillshare. Financial abuse occurs when someone else is controlling how and when you spend your money. Sometimes one person has complete control over another's financial life, including bank accounts, credit cards, and investments. In other cases, you may have total ownership over your finances, but someone else is manipulating you to spend or save your money in a way that you just don't feel comfortable with. There is also a big difference between the growing pains of blending your financial life with somebody else and experiencing financial abuse. Financial abuse can also impact all different types of relationships and come in different forms of severity. It could be with a romantic partner, your parents, your siblings, your friends, even a boss. Common warning signs of financial abuse include not having access to your own bank account, being told that you can't work or being forced to hand over the money that you do earn for someone else to control, being put on a tight or unrealistic allowance that's distributed by another person, having large purchases made or debts run up without you being consulted, and having your name and information being used to create financial accounts without your consent. Some members of the TFD community have been brave enough to come forward and share their own stories of financial abuse. I'm going to read their stories today, and names have either been omitted entirely or changed to respect their privacy. One woman wrote in, "I experienced financial abuse a few years ago after being laid off. My partner was basically pissed off that he had to work in a stressful field and pick up extra shifts because I was either collecting unemployment benefits or working part-time minimum wage. He expected to be able to spend his money on his wants because I got to, quote, do whatever I wanted to do at home all day. Any money I did make went towards the shared expenses, and I wasn't allowed to spend anything on myself, not even the things I needed. But he could buy whatever he wanted. I wasn't allowed to question it. I regret not speaking up for myself more, but I was afraid that doing so would cause fights and possibly end the relationship." Another woman shared how her career opportunities upset her partner. "My boyfriend in university was not a nice person, although I didn't realize until much later how controlling he was. Our finances were a particular point of contention. All through our dating and engaged life, he would be very angry with me if I bought anything without checking with him first. Fast food, new school books, monthly bus pass, new sweater, anything and everything needed to be okayed by him. It really came to a head when he realized that our career paths would leave us with a significant income difference, and I would be making more than him. He tried to convince me to quit school and choose a different kind of career and job path so that our incomes would be more equivalent. At the end of the day, it taught me a lot about how to manage my finances and that I truly love what I do. I fought for this career, and no one can make me feel badly for making more money than they do." But financial abuse can extend beyond romantic relationships and even impact you in your place of work, as one TFD community member shared. "When I started my first full-time job in my industry, I was put on a week-to-week contract earning slightly above the recommended wage. I didn't realize it at the time, but this setup allowed my boss to take advantage of a loophole in the law to avoid paying me any holiday pay, sick leave, or retirement savings. I worked there for about 18 months, and in that time, he avoided paying me about $15,000. If I ever questioned any financial arrangement, he would get defensive, yell, and warn me to never accuse him of being unfair about money. He also refused to pay me my last invoice. I learned a lot from that first experience, and it's led me to reject a number of job offers when I sense the same kind of ego from management. I'm clearer about the conditions of my employment before I sign anything, and I know much more about my rights, and I have learned to defend them." Finally, another woman in the TFD community wrote in about how moving in with her boyfriend cost her more than her relationship. "When my ex-boyfriend and I moved in together, I agreed to take most of the financial burden since I could afford it and he was a student, and he would just chip in on everything he could. As the year went on, I woke up to a whole host of emotionally manipulative and abusive behaviors that he had been exhibiting for years, so I decided I wanted out. But I felt guilty because he'd have nowhere to go and no money to leave with. When I expressed to him that I wanted to break up, that was the first thing he brought up. So I stayed. I stayed and continued to pay for more than half of our rent and every single one of our utilities on top of my own personal bills like insurance. When I finally ended things, I was financially drained and in about $1,500 of credit card debt. His finances and credit remained intact. Moral of the story, don't let a significant other become financially dependent on you, and set financial boundaries when you move in together." Financial abuse can also sometimes be an extension of a physically abusive relationship, so it can become dangerous for a person to try to put financial systems into place in order to be able to leave. If you or someone you love is currently experiencing financial or physical abuse, please refer to the resources linked in the description of this video. They include the National Domestic Violence Hotline, as well as resources and guides for how to protect yourself when you are leaving an abusive relationship. Part of recovery after experiencing financial abuse is to start rebuilding your own self-worth. One way to do this is to spend time building up your confidence by expanding your talents. A simple way to get started is with Skillshare, which provides an easy and affordable affordable way to expand your talents. Every week, we're featuring a different Skillshare class we think you guys will love. This week's class is Drawing as Self-Discovery, 5 Ways to Start, hosted by writer and illustrator Mari Andrew, who found her own artistic talents while going through a tough time. This class will build an arsenal of tools to return to again and again so you can gain focus, unleash your creativity, and could even lead you somewhere completely unexpected. As always though, Skillshare offers a huge range of high-quality classes on must-know topics from writing to fitness to business, and it's all about what you want to learn at an affordable annual subscription of less than $10 a month. And since Skillshare is sponsoring this video, the first 500 people to use the promo link in the description will get their first 2 months free to try it out risk-free. Click the link in the description to check out this week's featured class or any of the other classes Skillshare has to offer. Have a money question you want to learn more about? Leave your topic idea in the comments section below. I'm Erin from Broke Millennial for the Financial Diet, and don't forget to be here next Thursday for a new 3-minute guide.